I would like to introduce to you tonight representatives of the Bad River Food Sovereignty Project, Loretta Livingston and Joy Schelbe, if you guys want to come up. I've worked with Bad River for a couple of years up in northern Wisconsin, rebuilding local food systems. And these are leaders in our community raising up traditional foods, and they really live the adage that food is medicine. They are centering youth in their work of gardening, of wildcrafting, of medicine making. They celebrate elder wisdom and connect youth and elders. They revitalize the food system economically and through the craft of food processing. They are creating a system of food sovereignty in our region that is reaching beyond food to protecting our lands and waters from encroaching extraction of a variety of styles. And they have, through their work, brought together several communities, Anishinaabe and White, and others in our region, just because of the inspiration of their work. And so for that, we wanted to honor them for their work and for the community that stands behind them. So join me in celebrating their efforts. Miigwech to them.
Well, we have my name is Loretta Livingston, and my partner Joy can introduce herself. But we did bring a slideshow just to play in the background while we're making our short speeches. I very much appreciate the fact that this award is being given to the Bad River Food Sovereignty Program, and I have given some thought as to how I would like to express that appreciation to this year's conference attendees. While I don't necessarily think of myself or my effort through the Bad River Food Sovereignty Program as fitting the mold of a changemaker, I have come to realize that only through change can we be successful in accomplishing the goals that we want, that we set for ourselves to accomplish. I have to say that there was a group of dedicated members who began this journey about 7 or 8 years ago. They formed a committee along with 2 or 3 AmeriCorps Vista volunteers at that time. And they had discussions about the most appropriate means to reach the goal of making healthy food available to as many community members as possible. We have a small community that's has a membership of approximately 7,000, but on the reservation lands, there's approximately 1,500 people who live there. I was a on-again, off-again member of that committee, and we did decide that we wanted to work towards forming a nonprofit entity in order to have independence. In other words, the ability to hire and fire personnel, and that would be independent from the government program that we operate from now. We operate as a program. We don't have the final say on a lot of things, but we are given a lot of latitude to make decisions for our program. So that idea of the nonprofit entity has yet to be achieved, but it's not forgotten. And at this point, I want to express my pleasure in receiving this award along 2 other exceptional organizations. And I look forward to meeting and talking with the representatives of those other Changemaker Award winners tonight or this weekend. I assumed a leadership role in the Food Sovereignty Program about 3 years ago, and I had a vision for what I wanted to see happen through that program. And I use the word vision not only because it is often a word used in my culture, but also it's an important way of It's important, rather, that any effort such as food sovereignty, it requires a mental picture, an encompassing understanding of what you want to do and what you want to accomplish. And one of those, part of my vision was that I wanted to restore the connection between community members and the land on which they live, on which they historically harvested food and medicines, and for which historically they gave thanks under every circumstance. Some segments of our community do continue to this day to do all of those things. And historically, the members of my community not only harvested wild plants, but planted gardens. And so with today's busy everyday routine, which is necessary for their survival, many members might feel the connection with the land around them, but cannot see their way back. They cannot see their way back to the traditional ways in a meaningful, that would be meaningful in their lives. So through our program, we provide opportunities to relearn the historical means to interact with the environment and with the plants and the animals they're on. We offer classes which we call Dine and Learns, in which we use local practitioners to teach about rendering bear fat, which combined with traditional medicine, traditional plants form traditional medicines. And for doing more fun activities, such as making pasta using wild rice flour. And at these Dine and Learns, we serve a nutritious meal of locally harvested meat and produce. And the reaction on the part of the attendees who are community members has been one of pleasure and the taste of food that is nutritious. And there's a definite interest in the non-industrial production of items that we use daily, such as the beauty products that were mentioned and medicines and salves and lotions that were mentioned by my two previous speakers. So we do also offer opportunities to volunteer at our site and at community gardens, because I would like our members to become accustomed to the hard work that is farming and harvesting. In fact, it is a goal of mine to have community members become enamored of the hard work, because it brings a peace. The planting and weeding that we do in our high tunnels and our community gardens provide a respite from the troubles of everyday life if you let yourself feel that. Lastly, I would like to say that I formed a partnership with Joy Schelble of the then UW Extension, which has undergone some change, not only for her knowledge of plants, but her experience with youth. I felt that, or it is my belief that another important way to make change, hey, there's that word, change, was to expose the youth of our community to the food sovereignty effort. And I'm enormously grateful to the Moses organization and for one board member in particular for believing that we are engaged in farming, that I am a farmer. But I almost feel like a fraud. But I am grateful to be leading this effort for my community, because although I am currently paid to do this job, I am able to incorporate so many other wonderful things, such as harvesting traditional plants, making medicines, and I'm grateful every day for that opportunity. So I'm sure Joy has a few words to add, and thank you all very much for this honor.
So good evening, I'm Joy Schelble. I'd like to first apologize for our slides being tipped. I'm not quite sure why, so you'll have to tip your head. I'm extremely happy to be here, and it's not just because my name is Joy. I am genuinely happy and very grateful for this honor. The work I do is something I'm very proud of, and it's extremely inspiring. I'm very proud to work with Loretta every day, and we had a conversation about the changemakers. I would say that everyone in this room is a changemaker. Everyone in this room is weaving love, justice, and culture into farming. My feelings for farmers, organic farmers, is best held in a quote I brought from Vandana Shiva. Vandana said, "An organic farmer is the best peacemaker today because there is more violence, more death, more destruction, more wars through a violent industrial agricultural system. And to shift away from that into an agriculture of peace is what organic farming is doing." So, in Ojibwe-Moan, I will thank you. The word is miigwech, chi miigwech to all of you for the work that you're doing. It inspires us and drives us to keep learning and growing. A little bit about myself. I live on Anishinaabe land. Anishinaabe is the word for Ojibwe people in their language. I'm a mother of a 15-year-old, and I've spent the last 25 years taking kids into a garden, trusting that that is a place where we can restore health and community. My role in Bad River is to work with kids, and we do a lot, as Loretta said, a lot of gardening, wild food harvest, cooking. I've also been asked by some community teachers to help restore the game, Bagadawewen, which is an ancient lacrosse game used to resolve conflict and restore vitality. It is often referred to as the creator's game or healing game, a medicine game. As a matter of fact, I played that game this morning at our middle school with 70 kids, the majority of those students being Anishinaabe, and it's a powerful and profound part of my work. Living and working in Bad River, I've learned more than I've shared. And some of the things I've learned is that Anishinaabe, like other Indigenous people, are obligated to carry the historic trauma of their parents, their grandparents, and their ancestors. But with that, I've also learned that they do carry the historic wisdom, strength, and vitality of their parents, their grandparents, and their ancestors. I would say that some of the work that Loretta and I do is to help unlock that, to help young people, all of the people in Bad River, tap into that which they already carry inside of them. A story I want to share with you is we worked with a group of high school kids over the summer and then into the school year, learning to grow many of the medicines that you shared. And we cared for those plants. The children learned how to harvest, how to dry and process these plants into teas. They came up with a combination of herbs for their community that was stevia, lemon balm, and spearmint. Good for the digestive system, helped calm the nerves, and of course with children, they liked the sweetness. I asked the kids to name the tea, and they considered that for a while. And after a long consideration, one of the young ladies said, "We want to call the tea Blissful Time." I said, "Blissful Time? That's so sweet. Why Blissful Time?" And they said, "Because we want everyone in our community to feel bliss when they sit and have a moment with this tea." So those children have a lot of love and a lot of vitality, and it's been extremely inspiring to be with them. So I want to offer gratitude to the board and to all of you for listening to us and extend our friendship to you. For all of us are the changemakers, the peacemakers, the water protectors, the healers of a broken system, of a broken history. So here's to us, and here's to a brighter day. Thank you.
Wow, wasn't that great? Congratulations.